Hey everybody, welcome back. So I've been continuing looking around at cards that can really take advantage of the radical plate here, and I've been poking my nose in as much of the community as I'm involved in, and I'm quickly realizing that triple black moveset cards are wildly different depending on what you have on your account. Quite namely, it's the drip plate. If you have a drip plate, you can make most triple black move sets work as long as you end up blowing the board somehow. Um, so when people are talking about who uses a radical plate, so many people are recommending cards that really are only good with the drip plate. So I've picked three of them here. I don't have a drip plate. It's the most powerful plate in the game, and Scopely has it pretty much locked down. I can only think of one time in recent memory where they offered it, and I think it was in loot. It wasn't even on a prize wall. I could be wrong about that, though. My memory is bad. So I wanted to show off three different cards that take advantage of the drip plate in varying ways. There's one that's arguably not doesn't get a lot of value out of the drip plate. However, I keep hearing about it, and it's still not very good, so I wanted to lump that in with this video. So the first one we're going to talk about is Mr. Ludwig Kaiser. He is awesome if you have a drip plate, I'm sure. It's a very simple gameplay loop. Drop snowfalls, increase black gem damage, choose 6 gems to make into green. To break snowfalls and recycle everything. It's all 7 MP, so it's very traditional entourage. You want 6 MP here, 4 from Woods. You're getting 2 from Hall of Fame Molly. You can get a little bit of colored gem damage boost here. And then I got Flat Black and Zedge. And then I have Boogeyman for 15%. I'm missing a star. There's 40 levels to put into him, but I'm not a Kaiser guy. This doesn't really work for me. I think he's got another move set. Doesn't really work for me either. His moment doesn't help him. It's only for feuds. The only way it helps him is if you do have a drip plate. By the way, if you don't have a drip plate, it is a plate that goes into this slot right here, and every time you activate or proc a black move, I think it throws out 7 gems of X7. It might be 6 gems of X7, but it's a significant amount of multiplied gems that just go out randomly, which is fantastic if you blow a section of the board. Yeah, and especially if you have a move that increases total gem damage like Kaiser does here. Yeah, it's a super strong plate. So the radical plate, like we were talking about, full fury 2s, 200% move gem damage, or move damage up, 35% gem damage. I do have some substats working in my favor here. Nothing too crazy. No gear to speak of. So it kind of is what it is. We're going up against 6-star silver Razor Ramon here. And like I said, gameplay loop's very simple. I just had a thought though. Huh. I wonder if you could cycle it twice. You can see though, the damage there was not great. Not great at all. And that's kind of what you just can expect out of him. However, what does it look like if we do this? Okay. So what you're telling me is it would be situational, if anything. See, it's not even a guaranteed 2 cycle against another 6-star bronze. Granted, there's 40 level differences, and I could probably find a better strap and et cetera, et cetera. But let's try this here though. This is awful risky, what I'm about to try. Yeah, no, okay. That is just way too risky to do consistently. But there you go. There's no need for me to really get too in depth with it. Ludwig Kaiser triple black without a really fancy gameplay style isn't going to do it for you without a drip plate. Now, if you had a drip plate, all 3 of those black moves proc, your entire board basically fills with X7s. You're doing 130% buff on top of it. Bob's your uncle. Away you go. The next card I want to talk about, I mean, she's got her own nickname. It's Drip Coda. But if you don't have the drip for Drip Coda, this Drip Coda doesn't really. She kind of does stuff. Kind of. Who was I running her into? I think it was Miss Ripley. Yeah. So Dakota is also triple black. Excuse me. There we go. Choose a 4x4 area to make into trap gems, and when you break the trap gems, they just throw out a ton of black gems. Bicycle kick, increase the damage of all your gems by 35%. Running drop kick, choose a 3x2 to swap into purples. This is what you do: traps first, and then break some traps. Sorry, traps first, then boost the gems, and then break some traps. So cascade the entire board, goes big. Same concept as far as entourage goes, right? You need 6 MP plus the 1 for being yourself to get loaded. And then I got flat black, and then I got trap gem damage of 100%. Okay. Still, Hollow Star, 40 levels I could go. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Over here, her moments are feud moments. Doesn't help that much. Nothing here at all helps with the triple black moveset and the damage control moment. And the WWE Evolution moment, slight boosts here, unless you have a trip plate, in which case all the X7s that would get generated would be X11s. Super strong. As far as strap is concerned, I am using the Barber's Blades. Whenever you make 6 or more trap gems, increase your black gem damage by 75% for 1 turn. Pretty strong. And then I am going to toss the Radical Plate on her. I'm also going to go and find a couple of medals right quick. Hopefully I can find the ones that are on look. Yep, one of them. And there's the other. She also doesn't have any gear. So nothing really helps her out except other than her moves, entourage, and strap. This stuff only works if you have a drip plate and in feuds. Now, in order to be, if you're considering, pushing these people to the moon, these cards to the moon, you kind of want to see 25, 30 million damage consistently at 6-star gold. Mine's going to be a little bit less than that because this is base level, not max level, but the concept stands. So traps boost black gems, and I try to break as little trap gems as possible. Maybe risky. Yeah, let's give this a shot. See if I break enough. Just enough. There we go. This is about as good as you're going to be able to get it. It's 15 million damage. We're wanting to see like 25. Putting the star fill and the levels into her is not enough to gain an extra 10 million. Extra 10 million damage. It's just not. You're not going to be able to do it. So here's another card that theoretically the radical plate helps, but it doesn't help her enough to actually be someone to focus on unless you're absolutely hard up for modern era trickster for the ladies side. Same thing with Ludwig. Not enough damage unless you're absolutely hurt up for modern era tech, which you probably are not. You know what I'm saying? There have been some really good ones, and quite frankly, Tongaloa is better than Ludwig Kaiser. And you just need a Piper plate for Tongaloa. You don't need a drip plate. Let's go back to the third card. I don't want to watch all those animations. Can I get somebody better? Nope. I guess Rock is better than Omos. The third one is Jey. Jey's an interesting case. Because he kind of got really helped out by a moment recently. But it kind of isn't enough to make a difference. Oh, there we go. So there's a radical plate. And then I'll also have the Queen's Tiara. Whenever you make 6 or more multiplied gems, increase your black gem damage by 50% for 2 turns. Also pretty strong. However, you kind of have to make a choice. Northern Lights Suplex is choose 5 to make into multis, and then the belly to back neck breaker is make 7 into multis. And then the running clothesline is make 8 multis into black gems. So you could put like, I think it's just a zombie taker where you add more, you throw out just 1 more multiplied gem so you can trigger the Queen's Tiara twice, or you buff this move and make more multiplies into black. So this is where things get a little tricky, right? If you had the drip plate, that tiara would trigger 3 times, once for each move. Probably 2 times actually, just for the belly to back and the Northern Lights. But you would guarantee it to trigger twice. You'd throw more multis on the board, and then you can use this choose move to be a little bit more strategic with it. Right now I have it set up. Mr. Priest here, black moves start with 2 multiplied gems will increase their strength by 1. You can buff this if you build up his training. Once again, black moves with 4, and then I have Riddle and Hogan here. Generate any color gems will create 2 more, and then Riddle creates 2 more black. My theory is we are making 12 multiplied gems. Let's try to link them all up. And now that I'm talking about it, a drip plate wouldn't proc this plate at all because they hold the same place. Same concept of metals. 40% gem damage strap. Fury 2s, 200%, 35%. I think a little bit of substat Nothing huge, about 11% or 9%. And you want to throw the multis first. This is kind of like ETV Seth gameplay, just not quite as good. And then you want to try to figure out how to link up as many of these as possible to turn into black. So we know that 1, 2, 3, 4 will turn into black, 5 will turn into black, 6 will turn into black and catch all of that. 7, 8, 9. Oh, now we're out of choose multis. Yeah, there we go. Now we just hope that the odds will forever be in our favor. One thing I did not talk about is the moment that does help him. The biggest significant difference it does is it adds +4 multis to each multi that you got. Okay, that's why these multis are so big compared to what he normally does. Sure, you could put on like Leo or any of those other more rare coaches to boost this up even further. Alas, I don't have those either, which is another part of why I'm making this video. If you don't have the super rare stuff, people are throwing these out as options to use for this one particular plate, but man, you gotta really dime them out to get them to work. That's about as good as that could have gone. That was an 8 million hit at 6-star silver. Woof. That's weak. That's real weak. Unless I'm missing something completely about Jey, but and I probably am. But man, we can do better than that. You have acros on your roster that are better than 6-star silver doing that type of hit. One, 2, 3, 4. Battle turn. Let's do. Yeah, let's do it that way. That should break every multi on the board. Hopefully with a good cascade, we'll do a little bit more damage. I've managed to do 12 million before. There's 13.5. There we go. That's still not what you're looking for out of 6-star silver. That's just 3. Ridge Holland is another one that I've seen around. I've tested Ridge Holland. He's still not good. I don't know any other way of putting it. So when we're talking about cards and how good they can be, we have to be a little bit more cognizant of like there are some things that are big rifts, right? The drip plate is a rift. If you have a drip plate, you can make these cards work. Specifically, drip Coda or drip Ludwig here. And if you don't have it, you can't really make them work. They're not all that great. If somebody doesn't have a Piper plate, pretty much none of the Pyro guys are going to work, right? It's stuff like that. You have to be very cognizant of the fact that rosters are different and rosters are unique, and not everybody is at the same place in the game as everybody else is. Like, this video doesn't help anybody in Woken. I'm sure they all got a drip plate. And that's probably, not exactly the case, but probably a good half of them do, right? I don't know. I just sincerely wanted to make a video about some of these triple black moveset cards that just, yeah, the plate technically helps them, but does it really help them? No, not really. You're not going to use these cards over anything else. They don't cover any specific niche, right? There are better women modern era tricksters out there, and you probably have one, if not both, in Cora Jade and Liv Morgan. Modern era techs, you probably have Miz. You have Tonga Loa for sure. And there's been a couple others that have been released. There's Ilja out there. There's Punk. There's Julius was just a, technically an A-tier recruit, I think. Right, like all four of those are significantly better than Ludwig. And then as far as Acro Modern Era, Jacob Fatu, right? A lot of people have him now. If you don't have Jacob Fatu, there is always, I lost my train of thought. Somebody, somebody is better than Jey Uso, I'm sure. If you learned anything today, if you've been entertained today, or if you just like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.